Okay, so we have been talking about advertising for the past couple of days, and now we're getting into broadcast media, which is a type of advertising. So we've talked about print media and outdoor media, and now we're getting into broadcast media. So broadcast media includes radio and television. A nice little fact here that by the age of 66, the average person spends nearly 10 years of watching 22 million TV commercials and almost 6 years of listening to radio commercials. So when it comes to television advertising, most ads are 30 or 60-second spots. If it is something called an infomercial, though, it is usually 30 or 60-minute advertisements, and those promote products using a talk show type of setting, and viewers can order the advertised merchandise right on the screen. And then I have all of those links to different examples that I'll be putting up in Classroom that you can look at your own time. So when it comes to television advertising, as always, there are advantages and disadvantages to using this type of advertising. So when it comes to the advantages, one of them is that network television is the ultimate mass advertising medium. It is an effective medium for demonstrating a product's features and benefits. Cable television allows advertisers to target their messages to their market. And smart televisions allow viewers to push a button during a commercial to request more information. When it comes to disadvantages, though, the highest production costs and high costs for TV purchase time. There are smaller companies that cannot afford network television advertising, and viewers can change stations so that leaves room or leave the room or use devices that allow them to view commercial-free programming. So there are a lot of advantages, but there's also a lot of disadvantages along with that. And then when it comes to radio advertising, advertisers can update or change their advertising messages daily or hourly. More than 10,000 AM and FM radio stations reach 96% of all people ages 12 and over in a given week. So radio advertising is extremely efficient and cost effective. The advantages of radio advertising, then, are that advertisers can carefully target their audiences. Most station programming already targets segments, and it can be presented in 10, 20, 30, or 60-second spots. So there's a lot of room to grow for those. And again, you can target even locally. You can target based on what type of music people are listening to. So there's a lot of different ways that you can target that way. And there's usually an announcer or an actor along with the backgrounds that can help to add excitement. The disadvantages of radio advertising include that the goods and services can only be described. You can actually see them or visualize them, so you can't rely on that visual involvement. And radio advertisements have a short lifespan. Okay, so the next one that we're going to talk about today then is internet media. So when it comes to internet advertising, this is in the form of like email or even just over the World Wide Web. A modest part of overall advertising spending, but it is growing steadily. But there is a very low response rate, only 0.3%. Because think about all of the different ads that you see on websites that you're on, and how often do you click on those? And half the time it's even an accident when you click on them. There are different types of internet advertising. So a very common one is a banner ad. And this is an online advertising that appears as a banner or a display ad, usually up at the top. Some use pop-up banner ads, and they can be images or video ads. And the viewer clicks on the ad to get to the advertiser's website. So as you can see here, hopefully my mouse is working, this right up at the top is an example of a banner ad, the Verizon one. There are also something called search engine ads. So they appear while you're using a search engine. It's usually just short lines of text that appear and direct the user to an advertiser's website. And advertisers can buy different search terms. So if those certain terms are used, then their ads will appear. So you can see on this example that all of the ads are in this yellowish tone, and it says ads right here, and there's also ads on the side too as well. And again, it advertises that they are indeed ads. And then you can see that these companies had bought those certain words, so we put in online marketing, and the ones that are bolded are the words that they had bought, so that's why they're up at the top. All right, online you can also have video advertisements, and video ads provide instant detailed feedback. So how much time the viewer spends watching the ads will give them more information. And usually those help to entice viewers to make online purchases, and they generate better brand recognition and higher sales. And then the last type of advertising that we're going to be talking about is social media advertising. So, excuse me. This is generating or sharing like videos and pictures and other types of advertisements through social media. The reason why social media works so well is because people generally trust the opinions of their peers or friends. So if their peers or friends are liking or sharing pages, that helps. And usually they show pages that they're interested in and what like friends are interested in. And then there's also a lot of product endorsements that can happen through social networks that can boost the overall images and sales. There's always a lot of sponsored posts out there, and people are very upfront about sponsored posts for legal issues. So you'll know if they are using a sponsored post. And here is an example of a social media advertising campaign of the Hunger Games.
In the summer of 2011, we partnered with Lionsgate to create a brand platform for their film adaptation of The Hunger Games, the best-selling novel in which an oppressive capital forces children to compete in a televised battle for survival. Our task was to mobilize existing fans, introduce the story to new audiences, and generate enough momentum to launch a successful franchise. We accomplished this by creating an immersive multi-channel narrative based around the Capitol, which allowed fans to become citizens of Panem and advance the campaign's narrative through their own actions. We kicked things off with the dazzling motion poster featuring the series' iconic Mockingjay emblem. In August, at the VMAs, we burned a Twitter hashtag into the teaser trailer, which gave fans an opportunity to discover the Capitol and its location, thecapitol.pn. On thecapitol.pn, fans received a district assignment, a job, and an ID card. On Facebook, we created hubs for each of Panem's 12 districts and let citizens run for their district's mayorship. On Tumblr, we unveiled Capitol Couture, a fashion blog dedicated to the styles and the trends of the Capitol. On YouTube, we created Capitol TV, where citizens could view Capitol-sanctioned video content alongside their own. Finally, in partnership with Microsoft, we created the Capitol Tour, a HTML5 experience allowing citizens to access never-before-seen locations in the Capitol. Over the course of the campaign, we rewarded the most enthusiastic fans, creating unique status positions on each campaign platform, integrating them into the narrative, and sending them exclusive mailings from Capitol figures. Alongside these district officials, fans were given several opportunities to work collaboratively to reveal major campaign components. After 8 months, our efforts contributed to over 1 million ID cards created, a 3,000% increase in the size of the film's Facebook fan base, 22 million video views, 36.5 million books sold, and helped Lionsgate score the highest non-sequel opening weekend in film history. Above all, fans were given the unique opportunity to become part of their cherished franchise's canon. By placing the campaign in their hands, the odds were truly ever in our favor.